Hi guys, Mrs. Giroux here again. Day 37 on texture. We've been discussing the differences between actual texture and real texture. How things feel or they look as though they might feel if we touch them. Like space, texture in art can be tactile. Texture that can be touched or visual is real texture, and texture that we're creating to imply that there's texture there is called implied texture. We reviewed some examples. Also on our class Pinterest page, if you'll go to the texture unit, you will click on definition videos and you'll see more examples on there. All right, and again, our Pinterest page looks like this. Okay, and this is the texture unit, of course. 2 examples of wood, and these are drawn. This is not just a photograph of wood. Drawn using graphite. There are many other examples on our Pinterest page. So we worked on the pointillism project before we started this, and gave everybody the directions for both the pointillism and the texture, implied texture, just so that they could work at their own pace. Both are due at the end of class on Friday, or the end of the week rather. Okay, so to start off with this, on your hand for the pointillism one, we did the border. We started with one color, complementary orange, or the complement to orange is blue, so then we added blue, and this would have been going all the way around the border. Then we did the background, so the space in between the fingers is the background, and that would be, in this particular case, it would have to be red and green dots, and we made those dots just a little bit bigger, so those are behind this hand. And then for the hand for this one, we used purple and yellow, or violet and yellow, and we combined dots and made dots much, much closer together on the edges. And you can see that you can create value. So the value right over here where the wrist would be, the dots are closer together. Up here where the finger bends would be, you're going to have the dots closer together. So it's dark around the outside of the fingers. And how do you get it dark? You place dots closely together. And you can overlap those dots if you wish. And then on the middle of each of the fingers, you're going to place your lighter dots, and they're going to be more spaced out. Okay, so even on the palm of the hand, this is not finished, but you can see closer together creates the shadow where the dip of the thumb would be. And then this is the inside of the palm. Okay, and so those are going to be spaced out. And then you could come back in with a thin marker and do dots, creating the lines in your hand, which would be very, very cool to add. Okay, and then the last hand we're working on is the texture hand. All right, this was the example, and you're to choose 2 textures for this hand, and the hand is going to be drawn first with pencil, and then you're going to be adding the color to it. So this is going to be colored pencil finished, but you first may have to do it in pencil. You're going to choose 2 textures. All right, not all 5 of these. You're going to choose 2. One is going to be from this handout, okay, and the other one is going to be a texture that you're coming up with. You can use a resource, but it cannot be one of these that's featured. So you're going to choose one of these, okay, and here are some examples of other drawn texture. Here's a great rope texture. Here is barbed wire, and notice the value on it. That's what makes the implied texture that much even more realistic. And some of these are on Pinterest too. We've got bricks. Notice the unevenness, the grout in between. Jagged. Look at the different values in this. They range from probably a 2 to a 10 in value. We have the basket weave. That's a great texture right there. And how would you create that? So we have handouts in class too to help you if you can't come up with your second choice. And this wood one is really, really good too. This one even starts, let's turn this around, this one even gives you the stages. So A is this part right here, and then B, C, and D, and so forth. And that one's on Pinterest so that you could get a close-up look of that, a little bit more clear look. Okay. Then when you're through drawing this, and again, you have to transform these textures into the hand. So the fingers or the palm of the hand, you're going to put wood. Or the fingers, you might even include this part of the rope as one of the fingers or several of the fingers. And where are you going to place the other texture that you have to do? And then you're going to add the color using colored pencil. Okay, we are going to apply the color theory that we've already learned, blending, adding value so it still appears round or three-dimensional. Variety of color is going to be important, and a completed hand. And I'm going to let you choose the background of your choice. Some people are choosing to color it in solidly. Some people are actually doing another texture like a wooden board texture in the background, striving for that A. Okay, so I hope to see you tomorrow. Again, we're working on applying our color theory and developing an implied texture on the project, and they are due at the end of the week. You're using pencil and colored pencils and the resource handouts. All right, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow.